Hi, I'm Bethany. My dad is Sunday Stephen. This is Sipping Tea with Heather and Stephen.
I'm going to have to ask you to use your imagination for this, okay? So let's say...
Cue in the weird music because we all... I mean, you don't know this, but I lack imagination.
Imagine you wake up in the morning and the moment that your foot hits the ground, a song plays. And it sets the tone for who you are.
Oh, my.
What song is that?
Wow.
And it doesn't have to be Christian.
Awesome. Yeah. Because I'm older. The first song that popped into my mind when you said that was Lean on Me, because I can't get out of bed without both knees just making this. And so half the time I'm literally like, where the police pat you down and I'm up against the wall.
Oh, please just let me walk,
vertical.
Jesus.
Lean. If I had a walker right now, it is the funniest thing. Wow, I'm so strange because that's the only picture I can get out of my head now.
That's okay. That's all right. Mine would be, the first one I thought of was Overcomer by Mandisa.
Oh.
I'm an overcomer.
Wow, yeah, that's not annoying at all.
No,
yeah,
but can you imagine? Like, that would be annoying if every single day I woke up and there was that song when I started the day.
Yeah, but you could change songs, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the other one I thought about was Celebrate Good Times.
Oh, you went back to the 80s for that one. Oh my!
Because it's
stars.
like, I think part of it is, and I am a person that struggles with depression, so I do have days where it is like emotionally hard for me to get out of bed. But like, if you had that song when your foot hit the floor, you'd be like, "Come on, let's go! This is like going to be a great day." When you celebrate, don't you think? Your face is like, "No, you're crazy, Heather." That's what.
Well, no, it's not that you're crazy. There are certain songs that I mean, like that Celebrate Good Times. Come on. It's a celebration. Yes. I mean, I know it. It's in my head now. It's going to be stuck with me for the rest of the day. Thank you for that.
I'm so
small
sorry.
gift.
I'm so sorry.
You zagged on me. That wouldn't have been like the Mandisa song. I can totally see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the Kool and the Gang, yeah, you got me. You got me on left field on that one. That's pretty cool. I
think it would have to have a beat. That's my mind. Like, I think too about like the band. My son's high school band right now is playing Superstition. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, yeah. Writings on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, that would be another one. Like, you're like, let's go. Let's get this day started.
Wow, that's very cheery.
Well, I am a morning person. I do my best work in the morning.
Wow.
Did you not know that? You have a certain number of hours a day that you're the most productive.
I do know that, but I've just never been able to pinpoint for myself what those hours are.
Oh, okay.
Because there are moments. To me, it's almost like a symphonic, where the swell and the ebb. And sometimes the swell happens in the morning, and sometimes it's mid-morning, and sometimes it's in the afternoon. And sometimes the ebb happens and I look at my watch and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I've done this project and I'm successful. And I look down at my watch and I still have an hour and a half to go.
Right.
And
yeah,
I'm like,
no,
wow,
sure.
I've ebbed too soon, or I swelled too soon.
Well, that's true. That's true. I think what I heard a speaker, his name is Kerry Newhoff. He spoke at one of the CMB Momentums, and he said there are going to be the most productive times of your day where you get like, you're on fire. And then the other, like the ebb times that you're talking about, you send emails, you like follow up with, and so like you still work, but it's not your most creative, productive time. And for me, that's the morning for me.
And see, I guess that would be my question, because I mean, if you force me to, I will answer. But you consider yourself a creative person, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, see, and I know that about you. And so it was a leading question, meaning I knew that about you, and I consider you a creative person. Here's the caveat to that, though. I don't consider myself a creative person, and I never have.
Okay.
Like, I'm the kid in kindergarten who, draws a picture of a snake swallowing an elephant, and my teacher goes, "That's dumb," and I put my box of crayons away forever, because
you're like, I'm done.
I'm done.
I got no encouragement.
Like, that was the shining moment for someone to
Everything goes back to kindergarten, doesn't it?
Yeah. You learn to share in kindergarten. But yeah, I mean, so at that point, I mean, and you could kind of see, and maybe, did you get paper grades, like a report card?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I did too.
Yes.
Is there a theme that runs through your report card?
She talks a lot.
Yeah, and
can't
sit still. Can't stay in her chair.
Probably. I mean, very smart, but very talkative is probably like they had to move me a lot, and I liked to be the center of attention.
That's a surprise.
In the classroom. So, yeah, I know.
Almost K through 8, every quarter of a report card said super smart.
Yeah.
Can't keep quiet. And then about every other one was can't even keep him in his seat. Because if a student acknowledged they were having problems with something, I had already mastered whatever that concept was.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to help the teacher because she had 15 other students to do.
Right.
And I'm like, well, he only sits next to, I can help him.
Right.
And I would jump out of my chair. And even when they did parent-teacher conferences, the teacher would look at my mom and be like, and here's the challenge. I need to get him to understand there is a dynamic here in teaching.
Okay.
But the problem is he's never wrong. I can't go, look, you didn't teach him the right thing.
Right.
He does know what he's saying. He is correct.
Right.
It's the way I want the student to learn it because he's already learned it.
Right.
But I can't keep him in his chair. He's not the teacher. But he's a joy to have in the classroom because if somebody's struggling, he can interpret it with, kid language, third grade level,
right,
and help the student see what they need to see. And it's just the funniest thing that no one ever wrote, super creative, or look at this picture he painted, or
me neither. That was never me. I never did that.
That was never, watercolors, oh my stars, this looks like Van Gogh. No one ever accused. So I still to this day don't consider myself particularly creative. Now, there's a very small vein that I think at times I'm funny.
Yes.
And I don't know if I think that that's creative. I'm not sure if that's the thing we're talking about. But I do know that to have those moments where extra clarity comes in and you get to be creative.
Yeah.
You and I have talked in the past about how creativity it's like a muscle. You have used that metaphor with me at times, to where you're like, hey, that muscle, the more often you use it, what invariably happens, it grows larger, and you get to flex it more often, and it grows stronger, and it just continues to in a positive cycle. I don't necessarily see that for myself, and so I struggle in that. And so that's actually an activity that takes energy away from me and not gives me energy.
Okay.
So that's where I said all that to say, this is not going well. The morning thing, it's just not extra creative. And
that's okay. I do feel like there's probably, if you were to really kind of map out your day, you would find time where you had a little bit of, the other thing is that you're not given in the job that you do a lot of opportunities to be creative. You're the operations director for Shine, and that means you handle a lot of businessy things, money, purchasing things, paying bills. But the one thing I will say is after you telling that story about you being helpful, it confirms that I think on the Enneagram, you're a 1 wing 2. I think you're too.
And tell our listeners what that means, because you and I both know what that is.
Yeah. So 1 is a very perfectionist. You like solid. You like people to do what they say they're going to do. You like rules to be followed.
I love rules and usually memorized the entire employee handbook.
Exactly. And you know the org chart as well, and
I'm very familiar with who's where. Not even into my own ladder. Sometimes other ladders as well.
But the 2 wing, and I've wondered about this because of your how you and I've interacted, but I'm a 2, that's my first, and that's a helper. And so whenever there's an opportunity for me to serve other people or to step in and in different ways, I love to do that. That fills my tank up. Me, I'm a wing 3, which is then, it's like a performer. And so then that is the part where I like to get things accomplished and I like to see goals met and, some of those types of things. But for you, that 2 wing, that's where that, you texted me last night and said, what's your favorite fast food breakfast? Okay, you never said, hey, by the way, I'm going to get you breakfast. You just said, what's your favorite fast food breakfast? And I knew you were going to bring me breakfast because I was in town by myself and you would want to bless me that way.
Well, and there's an implied logic to it. And I even talk to my own students when they're in my classroom. There are 2 types of people on this planet. 1 are the type of people that they need all the information available in order to draw a conclusion.
Right.
And then there's 2. And I stop talking and they all look at me like...
Like what?
is the illustration over? What? If you haven't figured out that illustration, you're a 1. You're in the 1 column because you need all of the information possible in order to draw the conclusion. If you arrived at the conclusion with the rest of the class, ladies and gentlemen, you're a 2. You're in the 2 column. Right. But there are plenty of students where you can see it on their face like, what happened? He stopped talking.
I don't understand.
I was listening. I was even taking notes, and I don't. So when I texted you and said, "What's your favorite fast food breakfast?" which was honestly quite thrilled because it gave me the excuse to go and get us both breakfast from my favorite breakfast fast food place. To me, that just seemed like there's extra logic there that you and I both know.
Yeah, you're going to bring me a sandwich.
I'm going to bring you a sandwich. Right. Did I really need to say all that?
No, you
Probably
didn't.
not.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that was your thought process in that. Okay, by the way, you just said something I want to touch on. Why is McDonald's your favorite fast food breakfast place?
And I'll say it this way, because Gary, our director of engineering, for all of the Shine Network, he asked me the same thing as I was enjoying my breakfast in my office after you had left me alone with my breakfast, and he was like, "You like breakfast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a breakfast dude. I actually could consume breakfast." I mean, I might get sick of it, but I've never gotten to that point where I've gotten sick of it. Fast food breakfast, it's convenient and it's usually cheaper. That's not why I just like a good breakfast. Yeah. Saturday morning, bacon in the oven, eggs on the stovetop, boom, I'm there.
Done, right.
Sign me up. But the particular place we ate breakfast from is my favorite because every single time I go there for breakfast, I'm going to get exactly what I expect.
Oh.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter which location, which yellow arches are everywhere.
That's correct.
But they are, if there's nothing else, they're delicious and consistent.
You're right. You are very right about that.
I have 2 local other competitors that are non-McDonald's that I have visited both of these locations. One is closer to my work, one is closer to my home for breakfast. And the problem is I never know what I'm going to get. Not material-wise. Like the materials are there.
Yeah.
Their breakfast sandwich is well known for having a sauce on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not a problem. I don't mind. But one morning I'll go there and there'll be almost no sauce. Like they spoke to the bun about the sauce and then they put the bun on and there was no sauce.
There was no sauce.
They just kind of mentioned it to the bun. And the bun was like, "Oh, dude, were you going to do something about it?" No. And then they put the sandwiches together and gave me my sandwich. And then there's the next time I'll go there, and I literally have to take a napkin and wipe the sauce.
Oh.
And there's still so much sauce that I go, this is the money guy in me, you're losing so much money by drowning all of these breakfast sandwiches in sauce.
Right. Okay.
So there's that inconsistency there. And so in real quick in ways, Gary and I talked through that, and he was like, "Well, what about this place?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got an opinion on that place." "Well, what's your opinion?" I was like, "Very poor quality eggs."
Oh.
And consistently, but very poor quality eggs. I don't know what kind of eggs they're using. And so he went through this list and he was just like, and I was like, "Oh no, dude, I've got an answer." So when you ask me, like, you said the thing and it was a product that really this place specializes in, I'm like, boom, dude, we're there. I'm going to, because I know exactly as I drive away, other than the surprise of having a little coffee dumped on me this morning.
Oh, that was not good.
Other than that, I knew exactly what we were going to get.
Right.
And we were going to enjoy it.
Right.
And so that's why, I have to put that place first.
Yeah. And I agree, too. Here's why. I shared just a little bit ago that my parents divorced when I was 6.
Yes.
My dad got us Friday nights and Saturday mornings. My dad did not know how to boil water. Okay. Like, he does not. I think he could have cooked eggs, and he tried that a couple times, but he really did not do well with that. And he would always take us to McDonald's.
Oh.
And every single Saturday morning that he had us, we would get an Egg McMuffin. And I loved it. Like, it used to come in a little carton.
Yes.
And you'd open it, you know, and it was, now I don't love Egg McMuffins anymore. I love the sausage McMuffin with eggs. Okay. So that's what you got me this morning. Yes. But like, I attribute that to my dad because he did not cook. And so that was a great, like, kind of core memory for me of time with him because we would sit there at McDonald's and eat our breakfast. Yeah. So that's why it's my favorite.
But you also have to admit, you would agree anyway, that rather than admit, you'd agree, assent, if you would, that it's a consistently good product.
Yeah, see, and I did not think about that, but you are absolutely correct. Yes, I totally agree with that.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether I'm driving into, along the western coast of Michigan.
Right.
and I stop in a McDonald's there.
Right. That's right.
Or if I'm in my old stomping grounds of somewhere of the 2 McDonald's that exist in Shelbyville, Indiana. Right. Yes, there are 2 in this little town. Surprises me, but yes. But I know what I'm going to get when I get. It's that product, and it's a good product.
That's true. Yeah.
So and it's not super expensive.
No, it isn't. That's true.
So that's all those factors come into play. But I was really pleased when you answered.
What I said.
I think that I grew a little closer to you emotionally.
So nice. This has been Sippin' Tea with Heather and Steven. If you would like us to answer a question, email me, Heather@shine.fm.